Here's 10 reasons why you need to watch American Pickers now. Hello everyone. My name is Emma. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. When American Pickers debuted in 2010, it fundamentally altered how people thought about vintage hunting. The idea of two pickers searching for hidden riches across the nation began as a rather niche concept, but it has now grown into one of the most famous reality series ever. The show has followed Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz on their journey to unearth the past and give new life to things that most people would abandon because of its distinctive fusion of history and adventure. To be honest, the concept of reality shows about antique hunting is not new. Both before and after American Pickers, several shows have done the same. However, the excitement of the chase is something that most of these shows miss. American Pickers followed Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz on their lengthy journeys in an attempt to win the lottery for rare collectibles, starting with the first season. What makes the show so enjoyable to watch is the sense of surprise and unpredictability in every episode. The excitement of American Pickers is the potential to strike gold at any time. Whether it's a vintage motorcycle gathering dust in someone's garage or lost artifacts that have sentimental meaning for their owners. No other show can replicate the sense of personal triumph that each of Wolfe and Fritz's discoveries evokes. In relation to Fritz and Wolfe, they constitute the core of American Pickers. Any successful reality show relies heavily on the relationship between its stars, and Wolfe and Fritz's mutual love comes through on screen in a genuine and engaging way. Things are kept humorous by their innate affinity and camaraderie, but it's also clear that their strengths work well together. Fritz is impetuous, constantly willing to jump into a bargain and gather the most bizarre objects they find, but Wolfe is frequently more methodical and business-minded in their quests. With addition to their discoveries, the audience is instantly engrossed with the bond between these two. These two have developed a sincere friendship over their love of selecting and searching through junkyards, and it's clear that this isn't all for the cameras. American Pickers allows Wolfe and Fritz's friendship to flourish, whereas other series, like Pawn Stars, focus on drama and conflict to keep viewers interested. Take center stage. One of the most fulfilling reality TV experiences I have ever had is watching these two pursue their next big score in spite of all the obstacles they face. Since the episodes of shows like Pawn Stars and Hardcore Pawn become so predictable over time, I'll be honest, they quickly become dull. However, American Pickers does something special that makes each episode feel new. Wolfe and Fritz never know what they're getting into when they go out on their next pick, instead keeping with the same reusable notion. Naturally, this implies that not every quest is fruitful. But that's what makes the show so appealing. Every place they go and every individual they encounter along the way adds something fresh to the performance. Following the Pickers to various locations across the nation, each episode offers viewers a genuine glimpse into the past of the places they visit and the people they encounter. Since American Pickers has mastered the formula, it's hard to find a reality show that gives so much depth and wonder with every episode. Now, I'm not normally a fan of infotainment programs that, with each episode, feel like a lecture in a classroom. However, American Pickers subverts the genre and, in essence, makes history come to life without ever being dull. I say this because with every artifact they discover, Fritz and Wolfe create a portrait of America's rich past. However, they truly focus on the backstory of every item they locate and every collector they meet, rather than providing general information that can be found with a Google search. What makes the show so captivating is how personal history can get at times, and the Pickers are occasionally even surprised by the historical tales they encounter. The Pickers' emphasis on the history of their unusual discovery is demonstrated by the fact that they don't really concentrate on haggling and obtaining the greatest price. In a 2010 episode, Wolfe and Fritz discover Bushkill Park and an ancient carnival sideshow banner. They quickly learn that Fred Johnson, one of the finest banner painters of all time, created the item despite its first unimpressive appearance. After that, the object turned into a window into the past of touring circuses in the United States. The narrative then shifted beyond the poster's economic worth, as the Pickers got into a debate about how the banner reflected the early 20th century's preoccupation with freak shows. However, the $3,500 price tag only serves to highlight the delicate balance that Fritz and Wolfe make between conserving history and making money. Don't get me wrong, but if all you want is a background show to listen to while you do your housework, American Pickers isn't the show for you. Antique hunting television programs are often criticized for being either extremely extravagant or uninteresting. However, I believe that American Pickers' deliberate and methodical pacing is its core. In actuality, American Pickers is a highly cerebral program that demands the audience's whole focus. Because you will find yourself straining to keep up with what's going next if you miss any of the historical tale. The show has a distinct sense of purpose because of the pickers' careful consideration of each thing they encounter. They take their time to discover the untold stories behind the finds, rather than hurrying through them. There aren't many dramatic moments in this program, and to be honest, it doesn't require them. The show's approach enables you to go deeply into the past, and consider it with both nostalgia and a sense Pickers feels predetermined is among its best features. The exchanges between the collectors and the pickers are as organic as they can be. Rather than closing as many sales as possible, Wolf and Fritz they truly take the time to have sincere discussions with collectors in each episode, and they frequently end up sharing experiences they have never told anyone before. I adore how considerate Wolf and Fritz are when speaking with someone who is going to part with an emotional item or a lifelong treasure. These encounters' uncensored quality gives the show an air of genuineness, and makes viewers feel as though they are a part of it all. It acts as a reminder that these items are someone's property, contain priceless memories, and have frequently been passed down through the generations. The show has had 26 successful seasons since its debut, and is still among History Channel's most popular shows. Fans of American Pickers have stuck with the show through its highs and lows, even when Fritz left in 2020 and passed away in 2024. There's something about American Pickers that keeps you wanting more, even though it's uncommon for any show to maintain its initial level of popularity over 10 years later. The show's distinct blend of personal connection, nostalgia, and of course the excitement of exploration has kept it appealing to this day. The program is more than just antique hunting. It's a sincere investigation into people's lives, and that never gets old, does it? The main venues for the show are Wolf's Antique Archaeology stores. Danielle Colby would oversee the store's Nashville and Iowa locations when Wolf and Fritz were away hunting, where customers would come in to purchase carefully chosen antiques, vintage furniture, decor, and collectibles. This gave the broadcast a completely different perspective and provided an inside look at the antiques buying and selling industry. When the show takes you to the store, you realize that the pickers are managing a business in addition to their hobby of antique hunting. Every episode of the show teaches viewers how to distinguish between authentic collectibles and overpriced things, from negotiating the price of a valuable, rare object to comprehending and keeping up with market trends. I'll admit that before I started watching American Pickers, I had no idea what an appraisal was. Now, I eagerly await the times when the pickers consult an expert to determine the worth of the antiques they acquire based on factors like rarity and condition. American Pickers provides an authentic behind-the-scenes look at antique hunting, regardless of whether you're interested in collecting or are just curious about the business side of it. Whatever you think of the show, American Pickers has revived interest in antique collecting. Due of the show's continued relevance after so many seasons, it has continuously drawn new viewers who might not have considered the worth of old goods otherwise. People of all ages find Wolf and Fritz to be entertaining hosts. Even if you are not familiar with the world of antiques, the show is simple and fascinating to follow.